Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode where I am going to be talking to you about how lying to yourself can actually stop you from manifesting everything that you want to have in your life. Now, manifestation, it actually requires three things. There's three ingredients: desire, imagination, and expectation. Now, we are all born with desire. There's always something that we want to have, and we know what it feels like to want to have something. Imagination, this is also something that we are all born with. Admittedly, it's like a muscle. We have to practice our imagination. And if we don't allow ourselves to imagine, daydream, and visualize, then we actually lose this skill. But imagination is something that we all have, and it's what helps us to put our desires out there into the quantum field. We imagine what it would be like, what it would feel like to have that thing that we are trying to manifest. So that's two of the ingredients. As I said, we're born with desire, we are born with imagination. But then where does expectation come in? First of all, let's have a look at what expectation actually is. Expectation is not hoping. It's not wishing, and is knowing with certainty that that thing that you are trying to manifest will manifest and come into your reality. It's like, if I want to win £1 million, right? I can wish I want to win £1 million. I can hope that I will win £1 million. Do I expect to win £1 million tomorrow? No, I don't expect it to happen. I don't have this certainty, this absolute and utter knowing that it is going to happen. I can wish for it and I can hope for it, but I don't know it. And that's the difference between expectation and believing or wishing or hoping. You expect something to happen. For example, I expect for me to eat my lunch today. I expect for me to wake up tomorrow morning and go to the gym. I know that those things are going to happen. And it's the level of expectation that will determine whether your manifestation actually transpires or not. And this does have something to do with lying to yourself. And I am going to get to that point in a minute. So as I said, we're born with desire, we are born with imagination, and we need to increase our level of expectation. I mean, when we're born, we expect to have anything we want because it is our birth-given right to have anything that we want here in this world. But as we go through life, our level of expectation is actually diminished. You're told to get realistic, or you're told to be grateful for what you've got. You're told to that you're not worthy of things, that you're not good enough to have things, that you have to work hard for things. This lowers our level of expectation in our life. But with a little bit of effort, we can increase it. Now, in the place that is called the causal plane, you might refer to it as the quantum field or the Akashic records, whatever you want to call it. There exists all potential, all possibilities. Any future that you can dream of exists in the causal plane. The one that we experience as our reality is the one where we place most of our attention. Your attention is currency. So where we place our attention, this is why imagination is important, because we need to imagine us living and having that future potential, right? We put this desire out there. We imagine it becoming our future reality. And because we are placing our attention there, what we are doing is we are putting that desire out, that manifestation out into the causal plane, into the quantum field. And it's like a wave. And that wave then has to come back to us. And what it does is it then changes us so that we can actually become or step into that future potential. So it's a double quantum wave. We put it out, and then we have to allow that wave to come back. We have to receive that wave and then change in order for that manifestation to become our reality. And it's the level of expectation that we hold which allows this wave to come back and change us. If there is any doubt, if there is any limitation, if there is any block to this wave coming back and us receiving that future potential, then that's when we struggle to bring our manifestations into reality. So this is where it's important that you need to be honest about whether you're lying to yourself or not. So if I have this desire for something and I can imagine having it, and I put that vision out into the quantum field, if there is any level of doubt, disbelief, if there's a limitation, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, this is never going to happen to me, who am I kidding? All of these inner critics or these inner voices, if they exist, then that wave isn't going to come back. And that wave isn't then going to change me and bring me forward so that I can step into this future potential. If you are lying to yourself and saying, yeah, everything's hunky-dory, I did my visualizations, I did my journaling, I did my gratitude list, so this is absolutely going to happen. Is it hell? If that lie exists, then you're going to block, you're going to stop that manifestation. Instead of lying to yourself and hoping that this manifestation is going to come true, pretending that this limitation, this inner voice, this block doesn't exist, rather than doing that, we have to become the observer of what these limitations are, of what these of the blocks that exist. We have to observe the emotions that occur when we want to put the manifestation out there. Why? Because these things are what have stopped us from manifesting this already in our life, and they are what will continue to stop us from manifesting. When we are able to observe and identify these emotions that are stopping us, then we can fully welcome these emotions. We can work on healing this block. We can remove this from our being. Then once we've welcomed and allowed all of those emotions to flow and get out the way, then we are free to welcome that wave back, and we can have a higher level of expectation that this thing that we're trying to manifest absolutely will come back to us. If I sit there and lie to myself and say, I want 10 new clients by the end of the month, and then I get this in my tummy and this, oh, ain't never going to happen. How the bloody hell am I going to achieve that? I have to look at that. I have to go into those emotions, and I have to see why I think that that's not realistic for me, why I think that there is a ceiling on what it is that I can actually achieve and how many clients I can bring on by the end of the month. I have to welcome the emotion of doubt and disbelief. I have to let that energy flow, because this is suppressed emotion. This is limiting beliefs, and I welcome them, and I allow that energy to flow until it's run out, until that energy has dissipated. And then once I've welcomed that energy enough, that emotion enough, then it's gone, and I'm free to replace that with an alternative. I'm free to increase my level of expectation and replace it with the feeling of knowing and hope and excitement. This feeling of what it will actually feel like when I do have those 10 extra clients. So this is what you can do for yourself. You identify what it is that you desire. You start to imagine what it would be like to have that in your life, or be that, or become that, whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest. As you are visualizing and imagining this, you notice what emotions arise, what pop up for you. You observe them and you welcome these emotions. If they are limiting, if they are negative, if they are doubtful in any way, you sit and you welcome those emotions. You allow that energy to flow. And this may happen a number of times because there's layers to all of this suppression, all of these trapped emotions that we have. So we welcome them layer after layer after layer. And once you have welcomed them fully, without judgment, when you have allowed that energy to flow, it will pass. And then you are free to replace it with the emotion that you do want. The emotion of having with certainty and expecting to have this thing what it is you're trying to manifest in your life. And then desire, imagination, expectation, you put that out into the quantum field, into the causal plane. You allow yourself to receive that wave to come back to you, and then you allow yourself to be changed. There is no point in lying to yourself, in pretending that these secondaries, we call them secondaries, there's no point in pretending that these doubts or these limitations don't exist. Because if you do lie to yourself, they will continue to block your manifestation, stop you from having everything that you want in your life. So be honest, observe, don't judge, and just do the work. Welcome the emotion. And then you're free to manifest.